Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ishita. So today's video is going to be a sequel to my previous video on Maa Kamakhya, and if you have not watched that video, I implore you to go back and watch the previous video first so as to get the context of this video. So for the subscribers who have already watched that video, I am sure that you can recapitulate that we have spoken about the history of Kamrup and the origin of Maa Kamakhya and her relationship vis-a-vis the Dasha Mahavidyas. So Goddess Kamakhya is basically at the center stage of the Shakti Tantra, and her temple in Assam, the Kamakhya Devi temple, is one of the Shakti Pithas and actually one of the 4 Adi Pithas. So I'm sure you can understand the importance and the power of this Shakti Pith. So there are 2 literary sources that talk about Maa Kamakhya and the manner in which she has to be propitiated amongst other things. So these are the Kalika Puran and the Yogini Tantra. Now the Kalika Puran was written before Yogini Tantra, sometime around the 9th century BC. Now amongst various other things, it describes Maa Kamakhya, the manner in which she has to be worshipped and propitiated, and also vividly describes the geography and the topography of Assam. So besides being a very important literary source on Maa Kamakhya, it is actually a very important historical source that talks about the history of Assam and its geographical conditions back then. So in our previous video, we have spoken about Maa Kamakhya being that primordial Adi Para Shakti that manifests herself into the Dasha Mahavidyas. Although she is worshipped in a standalone manner and has an entire path dedicated to her worship, yet in the Kali Kula she is actually worshipped as goddess Kali or Aghora Kali, and in the Shri Kula she is actually worshipped as goddess Tripura Sundari. So yeah, like I've told you that goddess Kamakhya is that Para Shakti who manifests herself as the 10 Mahavidyas. Another corollary to it can be that if you worship any of these Dasha Mahavidyas, either of them, do her sadhana, and then you reach a stage in your sadhana where actually you realize goddess Kamakhya through one of these Dasha Mahavidyas. So yeah, this is a corollary to the theory that Maa Kamakhya is that primordial Adi Para Shakti who is manifesting herself as the Dasha Mahavidyas, or you do the sadhana of a Dasha Mahavidya in a manner that you reach a stage where you actually go back to the source, which is Maa Kamakhya, the Adi Para Shakti. So let's talk about how Maa Kamakhya has to be worshipped. Now for people who do not intend to do a very serious sadhana, can actually follow a very simple way of worshipping her so as to get her grace. I'm going to make a separate video on that wherein I'll describe the process and a very simple way to worship her daily and so as to get her grace. Also, people who want to do her sadhana would definitely know that she has to be worshipped through the Vamachara path, and also there are Shabar mantras on Maa Kamakhya which are extremely potent. Now in both the situations you have to understand that you need to be initiated by an able guru, and you cannot just randomly pick up mantras from the internet because they are all over the place, and these mantras are extremely potent and they are basically a double-edged knife. So you can use these mantras for your own benefit, or if you use them against somebody to harm someone, then definitely it's going to bring you bad karma. So one has to be extremely cautious and judicious. Now what you have to understand is that initiation by a guru is extremely important, because a lot of these mantras are actually shrapit, and it's a guru who can unlock these mantras for you, because if you just randomly start chanting these mantras from the internet without the guidance and help of a guru, then it might just work for you initially, but in the long run it can actually create a lot of havoc and chaos in your life. So one has to be extremely careful before chanting random mantras from the internet, and especially certain mantras like these and bij mantras need to be initiated by a guru, and you have to hear it from Guru Mukh, and you have to basically get initiated by an able guru into the practice. Now let's understand why having a guru is very important. First is that he has that potential to unlock that mantras for you. And the second thing is that doing a sadhana is like walking through a dark tunnel, and you don't know what might just hit you. So if you have an able guru, he can handhold you through the sadhana, and he can actually protect you from a lot of dangers. Because if you are walking through a dark tunnel, and obviously if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but there are also entities in the tunnel who might try to contact with you and might try to even pose and behave as a deity. So it's very important that you learn that discernment from a guru, and so there are a lot of steps involved in a sadhana. So if you're really into mantra practice or any sort of sadhana, then do not pick up mantras from the internet. Find an able guru. So I'm going to make a separate video on how to choose your guru, and what all to be kept in mind while choosing a guru, and also a very simple manner in which Maa Kamakhya can be propitiated. So yeah, if you are somebody who's interested in occult, astrology, spirituality, then please watch my videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.